Hi, this is a review of the gaming keyboard model number K66. First thing out of the bat, I want to say keyboards are very subjective from person to person and what you're using them for. So you may want to do a little research before you get any type of keyboard between mechanical, non-mechanical, and then about the different types of mechanical keyboards. With that said, this keyboard here is a mechanical with red switches. Each switch has its own different characteristics, and this particular mechanical keyboard, the red switches do not have any tactile feedback, meaning when you push down on them, there is no clicky sound, there really is no bump. They feel a little bit more mushy. There's less to the keys when you push them down. And for me, that's a big matter of preference. If I'm touch typing and not playing games, a mechanical red keyboard is probably not the keyboard I'm going to want. If you are playing games, doing things like that, it may be exactly what you want. If you live in an area, a small apartment or something to where the clicking sounds of your keyboard are annoying, your husband, your wife, boyfriend, roommate, whoever, then you might want a keyboard that makes less noise. So understand what your needs are when before you go in to get a keyboard. With that said, there's a lot to like about this keyboard, and there's a couple of things that I'm not exactly thrilled about. First, let's talk about the things I'm not thrilled about. The first, which may not affect you at all, if you've been following around my reviews at all, I have some eye issues, have lost almost all the vision in my right eye due to some retinal detachments. So I like keyboards that I can read that don't have weird, crazy little fonts in that. And this is not one of those keyboards. A lot of the characters have little divots in them, and it's a kind of a cool look, but not necessarily the easiest to see when, a character may be broken up. For instance, like the D character there, if you can see, there's a little line through it. And when you're reading that, especially in the dark, looking down at the light, it's not the easiest to read. So again, that's a little minor quirk coming from somebody with less than excellent vision. You may not have that problem at all. The other thing I don't like is the front that has this big area here for your wrists. I usually like to rest my wrists a little bit below the keyboard. I found that hard to do, and since that doesn't come off, it took a little bit of adjusting to get used to typing on this keyboard from the one that I was using before. I eventually got used to it enough to where I could type fairly quickly, but I really do wish this little piece right here came off so you could have the choice whether or not you wanted to use that. As far as the lighting effects, they're pretty simple. There's 5 different effects, which go anywhere from, if I can do this while showing you here, the function, the print screen, and if I can actually see what I'm doing here, function. There's one here where they're calling that the breathing effect. I believe you can see that where it's going kind of on and off slowly. They have one here, so when you hit the buttons, they light up. You've got screen. One here where the keys kind of like race around after you hit each individual key. Otherwise, they are dark. So if you're using those while it's dark, I don't know how useful those are going to be. If you're a touch typist, it will make some cool little things in here. A little light shows it here. Again, the lights are going back and forth. So it gives you an idea of what that will do. If we can hit the function and up and down, that will bring it from the lowest to the highest, and hopefully the camera's picking up enough of that. It's a moderately bright keyboard. Again, bad vision, wish it was a little bit brighter. If I can pull my normal keyboard out here to compare, it'll give you an idea of the difference in brightness here, where this one here is actually so much brighter, and the keys are a little bit brighter, and that one does different colors as well, where this one that we're reviewing here, this only does red. So it, again, depends on what you're looking for. I'm going to put this close to the microphone here while I'm hitting the keys. and you can hear there's no extra loud click or anything. The keys go all the way down, but they're registering about a quarter of the way down or half the way down. So if you're a fairly decent typist, you can type fairly quick on this. Again, it depends on what you're looking for. If you're mainly doing, writing things and not playing games, you may want a different mechanical type keyboard that has the clicky sounds. Again, that's what, forget exactly which mechanical switch is in this one, but when you press down even softly, you get a click, which it gives you that tactile feedback when the key goes down. So that's the difference. This one that we're reviewing here does not have that. That is by design. Again, you can do a Google search for mechanical keyboard key types, and you'll get a list from red, black, brown, and you can decide which type of one you're looking for. As far as a gaming keyboard, as far as a red mechanical keyboard, this seems like it's really well built. Besides the minor little quirks as far as not liking the font they're using and wishing the light was a little bit brighter, it's not dark by any stretch of the imagination. So again, your mileage may vary. This is coming from somebody that has vision difficulties. I would like it to be a little bit brighter, but otherwise it's a simple keyboard to use. Just a very small instruction pamphlet which explains to you, how to do the things like changing the lighting part of the keyboard, which, as I said, it's the function key and print screen cycles through the 5 different types of effects that it has, and function and the up and down arrow to adjust the intensity of each of the effect. It is a red LED keyboard. It doesn't change colors. So again, it depends what you're looking for on that. It does feel solid. Like I said, it's a heavy keyboard. This is probably, comparing to my other, it's about the same weight. But compared to other non-gaming, non-mechanical keyboards, there's some keyboards that just feel like there's absolutely nothing to them. This has a really nice amount of weight to it, and it doesn't move around when you're typing on it. It's pretty solid. It's got the feet on the back, which again is something that I normally don't use, but because of this piece in the front, to be comfortable, I've had to have that up. But really no problem at all. It's very sturdy as far as when you're typing on that. It doesn't want to move around. And the keys themselves, they all do pop off. They all are individual. Didn't have any problems as far as testing it with, getting any ghosting or having any problem with keys sticking or any of that kind of issue that you may find on a keyboard. It seemed to perform quite well. It is nice and quiet, which again is nice if you're typing and you don't want to make the people around you mad. It's well built. Definitely, I'll give this one a recommended rating as long as you don't mind the weird little font on the keys, which can be hard to see, and as long as you're using it for gaming, the reds do very nicely. If you're going for touch type, if you can go out, the thing to do maybe is to go into a store and try different types, at least of different types of keys, to know what you're looking for. If you decide red keys are something that you like, definitely give this keyboard a try. It seems like it's a pretty good price on the quality of the keyboard that you get. If you have any questions on the keyboard that we didn't cover here, feel free to put those down in the comments. We do watch those. If we have the answer, we'll give it to you. If we don't, we'll certainly do our best to try and find the answer out for you. If you're watching this on our YouTube channel, do us a big favor and subscribe. Tell a friend. The more people that subscribe, the more products we can review for you. It helps the channel out, and we can get you more reviews of products that you like. Again, this has been a review of the Gaming Keyboard model K66. I am Darren O'Neill. Thanks for watching.